Hello and welcome to This Week in Star Citizen. We take a look at this week's schedule for what Cloud Imperium are putting out content-wise, check in with the Star Citizen Alpha 3.18 PTU patch, and delve into some dev responses. Actually, they're all from Xylo this time, so community manager responses on some player questions. From the CIG post, This Week in Star Citizen. Last week we put out the call for the Bar Citizen World Tour 2023. Last year's tour was incredibly successful, as we were able to see thousands of you in person for food, drinks, fun and prizes. We are looking for new places to visit this year, so if you're putting an event together, let us know as soon as you can. We're gathering suggestions on the announcement thread, so if you have one, drop us a comment. I very much want to run a Big Bar Citizen this year. I did actually want to run one last year, but there was some problems with the couple of venues that I'd picked. Let's see if we can get something together this year. Cloud Imperium's post continues. Thanks once again to everyone who has been hammering away on the PTU. The data we've collected from the increased traffic after opening up to all waves has proven to be extremely valuable. Although we're making good progress, there are still a few blockers preventing us from deploying to the live servers, including transit and AI issues, as well as some server crashes. We're in the home stretch, and the team is really excited to get this one out the door and onto the live servers. We're also considering holding a couple of stress tests in the lead up to the big launch, so be sure to stay tuned to Spectrum. Your support and participation is super appreciated. Now, let's see what's going on this week. Wednesday, we have the latest roadmap update. The last one was quite disappointing. Hopefully, this one will have some updates maybe on the progress tracker beyond sort of 3.19. Hopefully, it will have more on 3.19 as well. Yeah, the last roadmap update on the 8th of February was a little lackluster. Thursday, on this week's episode of Inside Star Citizen, we have mining improvements coming with Alpha 3.19. As they build mining into the economy more and balance the economy and all the other sort of gameplay loops together with all these like new added features and associated gameplay with the cargo refactor, maybe getting ship scale tractor beams and the sort of boarding with soft destruction. We could actually see some pretty big changes to mining in that 3.19 patch. I'm excited to find out more. We have a Star Citizen Live on Friday at 4 PM UTC on the Star Citizen Twitch. We don't know exactly what it's going to be yet for a show, but they'll announce it a little bit later in the week. Now, let's take a look at the Star Citizen Alpha 3.18 PTU patch. So there was a little hotfixy, small little patch that went out last night, partly to try and address some issues with 30Ks and server crashes. So fix-wise, reset to SEM has been fixed. Apparently it was setting vehicles speed to 80% of their top speed, and it was supposed to set you to your max SCM speed, so that's solved. They fixed 2 server crashes and a server deadlock as well. It does appear that this patch still has a load of 30Ks plaguing it though, so let's hope that Cloud Imperium can get those solved ASAP. Those are the biggest blocker for a live build, but I suppose any blocker is still a blocker for a live build. There's obviously problems with AI and accessibility and a couple of other things, transit. Cloud Imperium do need to solve that before 3.18 goes live. Could we see 3.18 by the end of February? It is certainly possible. It's they only got a week left, much more likely early March, but still pretty soon I would expect that patch to actually go out to live. But it does depend on Cloud Imperium being able to solve those blockers. So there was some dev responses that I do want to go through here. Some pretty quick, actually. The first one I saw on this week's episode of Inside Star Citizen, it said Star Citizen Alpha 19 was later this year. Is the 3.19 patch coming out by the end of the year? Xylo responds, Alpha 3.19 will indeed bring Invictus launch week, which will go down in the second half of May. The patch would need to be released ahead of that time. So yeah, it looks like we're going to be getting a 3.19 patch between April and May at some point. New player experience was another thread I saw, with the original poster saying, I've tried multiple times, but it's a big learning curve to start the game. When's the new player experience coming out? Xylo responded, there's a lot of work to be done on our side to make those first steps a bit easier. I think you'll find some great improvements to ArcCorp, so we know that Area 18 at ArcCorp, in Alpha 3.19. So that's been chosen for this sort of where the first iteration of the new player experience is going to be. And yeah, I'm going to start spawning there to be able to test that out in the not too distant future, especially with Alpha 3.19 potentially so soon after 3.18, although it's going to be built on the 3.18 branch, so it is effectively a 3.18.x patch. There was another thread, small reward to go live for players with a lot of PTU playtime. Hello CIG, would it be possible and even perhaps desirable that players with a lot of playtime on the PTU receive a small boost in starting Alpha VC when the patch goes live? Or is this not wanted? It would be a nice little thank you to the patience and commitment of the players and will be deleted again at some point. Anyway, Zyla responded, we do indeed plan to reward our test universe champions once 3.18 is out the door. We did this back in Alpha 3.17 and found it was very well received. And so there was a post test universe champions, and Cloud Imperium rewarded a load of players for being active on the issue council, completing missions, taking out AI, in a load of different categories, with some ships as rewards for those most active and most achievement-y hitting players. It's not 100% sort of set in stone what categories those will be, but yeah, if you do a load of issue council posts and you do them accurately or for particular topics accurately, then you are more likely to win a particular sort of achievement that Cloud Imperium will choose. So another thread, non-lethal ammo types, which basically the original post just goes, are we going to have non-lethal ammo types? It'd be nice to have them in-game now. It would obviously be very useful for Bounty Hunting version 2, which we might see later this year. Zylo responded, we have non-lethal ammo types already. Haven't you heard of the Wow Blast Desperado toy pistol? In all seriousness though, non-lethal weapons are indeed planned. A certain taser was showed off quite some time ago comes to mind. So this is the Preacher taser, and it looks like that might be coming into the game in the not too distant future potentially because of, well, the implication there. And the last thread I want to just call out today is Drake needs a dedicated heavy fighter. That's literally what it is. That's all the OP asked. Zyla responded, but what would you call it? So I really like the idea of a dedicated Drake heavy fighter, and I would love to know what anyone in the comments below thinks one should be called. I personally like Drake Man-O-War as a name for a heavy fighter, but I think a heavy fighter really fits for Drake, and it would be nice to see one in game. But boom, what do you think? Are you excited for the potential for a Drake heavy fighter? I mean, there's a potential for one. Cloud Imperium has certainly not confirmed anything more than a sort of, what would you call it? Have you been playing in Star Citizen Alpha 3.18 on the PTU? Has it been good for you? Has it been a terrible, crashy death experience? What's going on with your plays of that? Are you waiting for live? Or are you waiting for 3.19 now? When do you think we'll see 3.18 go out the door? And are you excited for this week's roadmap update or mining updates that are coming in 3.19? You surprised to hear that Cloud Imperium are planning to get 3.19 out before the Fleet Week, Invictus Launch Week stuff? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
That's the last chevron locked in, Mr. Daniel Jackson, who is legally distinct from any doctors of the same name. We've done it. We've connected to another world. Daniel Jackson, we're being hacked. Through the gates to the stars, which is also legally distinct from any other gates that travel to the stars. We should have got NordVPN, Daniel Jackson. We would have been able to browse the internet safely, accessed our favourite content on Netflix, and we would have been able to have privacy. We would have had less of these Egyptian-looking snake people attacking us too.
You should check out nordvpn.com/BoredGamer and get yourself a great deal on NordVPN. Just click the link in the comments section below. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For February, it's for a Crusader Spirit C1, the very cool looking multi-crew, multi-role competitor to the Cutlass Black and Freelancer. As it's a concept ship, you'll get a Cutlass Black until it's made flyable. You'll get lifetime insurance with the ship and a game package for Star Citizen 2, so all you need to play. Just comment on any of my videos made during the month to be in for a chance of winning that. If you would like to further support the channel, then consider becoming a Patreon or using that join button under my YouTube videos to become a channel member. It goes a massive way to helping us make videos every day, and you'll get some exclusive content from me and Zinnia from time to time too. Become a board gamer today!